All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are other mediums in which you can engage with this content. But my favorite way, the way I suggest, is to go to the blog. And the blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. That's a lot to remember. That's a lot to type in. So, wherever you are engaging with this content, look for a prompt of more info, intro, description, something of that nature. Click on it, another box will open, and it will have a link directly to the blog, the free blog. You don't have to put your email address in, and I am not selling anything. And yeah, so then the video that you're watching on YouTube is there, but also the entire article is there. And you can follow along if you'd like. Some people say it helps them to keep with me because I bounce all over the place. Yeah, so yesterday I didn't post at all because there was lots of news, but it was mostly our news, right? News about stuff that's going on here. A lot of the troops are leaving. They're not leaving. This is where they are. No, they're not there. Plus, I don't think they should be posting where they are anyway. Because, I look at Iran's news too. I mean, just a couple of websites. And they're watching where the troops are also. They're looking at all these articles. Plus, they have drones and stuff. They're probably watching their movements. So I was like, I'll just take the day off. And yeah. So today there was quite a bit that I do want to get into. So today was Saturday, August 30th, and I feel like I'm forgetting something. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way out, but don't leave. Don't leave just yet. All right. And thank you. Oh, and I wanted to definitely say thank you to Twitter followers. I get every now and then there's a trickle of new followers there. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So I hope you had a good Saturday, because let me tell you, some people didn't. Let me see. Let's do that first. Let me show you what I mean. Okay. Well, here's the rate, the dinar to dollar rate for Saturday, 1412.5 and 1432.5, and that's actually where it pretty much was last week also. So if you see any articles or any headlines that say stability of the dinar, that's what they're talking about. It's not good. I mean, it's good for the people because that means the prices are stable, but we don't want this rate. We don't want this, right? So, but yeah. All right. And, oh shoot. I didn't want to have to save this. Okay. So you can, well, darn it. That's right. Some of you guys just listen. Okay. So we're going to have to do wordplay here. In Ice Cream Land, military member is no longer in the land of the living, and others were injured. And since then, one or two of those injured ones joined their partner, and that was in Gaza. So that happened right here. The H people, let's see, how can Uti, but figure that out, right? They're in Yemen. They lost a president, and other members of their government by Ice Cream Land. And then I'm not gonna show the other one, but that other conflict that's been going on, and one of their leaders was just in Alaska. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so not his country, but the other country. They took out a former something or another of that government. And I mean, took out. They wanted to make sure that person wasn't coming back. You know what I mean? I can't say. Um, but thankfully they blocked it. A lot of times, Iraq, they don't block the, you know, you see everything, right? So yeah. So pretty not peaceful day, right? For that. And yeah, it just seems like there's not going to be any end to it, huh? So anyway, so now that we got that out of the way, we'll get to the good stuff. I mean, I don't like this, but if it's gonna equate to forward movement for Iraq and them changing the rate, then I like it. But this was the big story today. Digital, well, this is my trying to make it exciting title. Digital Dinars, Iraq's electronic payment revolution begins. So they're hitting these people hard with, you know, getting electronic payments. And central bank governor, electronic payments require infrastructure and legislation and community awareness, which is what? Brainwashing, right? And look, it's even in the title. So that's why I said they're really pushing, because usually they'll mention it in the article, but they won't put it in the title. So now they're being bold. Like, we need to get out in the community, which they did. Remember, they had that, it was creepy. It was, we reach you. Then they changed it to another phrase, kind of like that, but not as creepy. And they have all these commercials, and, yeah, you know, they're really trying to get them, but they're not going for it because they're smart, right? They're like, you need to get the electricity. And what's funny is Kurdistan is announcing now there's 3 provinces that they are having 24-hour electricity, so much to the point where they're asking people to turn off their generators. A lot of them have backup generators, and they're like, trust us, this is gonna work, right? So Kurdistan's over here bragging, look, our people got 24-hour electricity. What about you, Baghdad? And I forget, it's some kind of program they're doing. It starts with an R. I can't remember, but I thought that was interesting. But anyway, yeah. So the governor of the central bank, Ali Al-Alaq, announced today, Saturday, the issuance of instructions and controls to regulate the electronic payment process in 3 aspects. While revealing the mechanism for developing the electronic payment process, he stressed the obligation of all state institutions to deal with electronic payments rather than cash. So that tells me some of those state institutions are probably still dealing with cash, right? If he's coming out and saying that. Oh, and I bolded regulate because we're going to hear a lot, especially like with the cryptos, now that let me see, traditional financial institutions, you know, banks and things, they want uh, they want to get more people involved, but I hate to say regular people, the traditional people like myself, we don't want no stinking crypto, right? I want to hold my money in my hand. I want to fold it, put it in my purse, you know, whatever. But so so they're finding when they ask people, well, why don't you like crypto? What do they say? it's not regulated. And half of them don't even know what they're talking about, right? They're just they're just repeating it because that's what they hear other people say. But I don't blame them, I don't blame them. Nobody likes to appear to be dumb or ignorant, right? But because if you really know, regulate is not, that's the whole purpose of the crypto or digital currencies, is to get away from regulation, to get away from centralization. But anyway, but yeah, so that's a word that can be deceptive. And um, yeah, just beware when you see it. If you don't know, one thing, someone told me, if you don't understand if you don't understand what something means, ask the person, how does it apply to me? Right? So that's a way of you asking a question. You want more information, but you don't want to say, I don't understand what this is, right? So, and I mean, think about it. It really is um, uh, a great question, because if someone's in their 20s, something may affect them differently. Someone in their 30s, people that don't have kids, people that have kids, and I'm speaking financial, financial terms, investments. Then when you get older, you're maybe looking at retirement, or you are retired, then, it could affect you differently. So yeah, I was happy to hear that person say that. And you see, it stuck with me. I can't remember who said it, but I know I didn't come up with it on my own. All right. Anyway, so I wanted to go over that. Let's see. Alaq said in a statement to the official agency, whatever that is, electronic payment is witnessing significant development, and it is a gateway to the digital transformation towards a digital economy. For a larger issue related to the economic structure and global interaction, to achieve greater financial inclusion, and all these aspects have become fixed and developed strategies. And we're going to see another article about this financial inclusion. Okay, he pointed out the central bank, along with the government, the private sector, electronic payment companies, and technology companies are all engaged in this great and continuous effort. And we have regulatory and legislative, technical movements and directions being worked on in coordination between the Central Bank of Iraq and the Iraqi government. So I don't know if he's just talking about the government institutions here or the whole country. I'm hoping he's talking about the whole country. But yeah, he added there is cooperation and coordination with the government through the decision issued by the Council of Ministers obligating all state institutions to deal with electronic payments rather than cash, as well as the localization of salaries, which amounts to millions, in addition to the public awareness taking place through electronic companies and civil society organizations, and there is advancing community awareness. And who runs the Council of Ministers? Yep, Sudani. All right, one more paragraph. He explained that the issue of progress in electronic payment requires infrastructure, which they're building, right? A legislative structure, and community awareness. These are three aspects that are being worked on diligently, and much of the infrastructure at the level of the central bank has been completed in an advanced manner, fully in line with international practices as well as with legislative frameworks. We have issued many instructions and controls that regulate the process, but we need more in the third aspects: community and cultural awareness. So see, they're saying right there, hey, look, we're done. We can go digital. It's y'all. Y'all messing up our plan here. So you need to get with it. Bring your money in, right? Get your account, right? Oh, yeah. So here's another pretty much the same article, just a few little things different, but we'll skip it. But if you want to read that, you can. All right. And then they had this, the digital economy in Iraq, 10 million bank cards and 15 trillion dinars in payments. Now this must be just the government ones. But anyway, this is that echo, whatever Iraq Observatory. They've been talking quite a bit. So I'm thinking they're one of the groups that have been doing those studies. Like you'll hear them say, we've been studying, they've done studies on. And I'm wondering if this is one of those groups that was doing the studies. Because see, at first I thought this was a repeat, but it's not. It says they announced on Saturday that the number of active bank cards in the country has exceeded 10 million, indicating the rapid expansion towards a digital economy. So you can read this if you like. It's very short. Now this, I know some of you're going to go right over to the blog and read this. Monetary stability and exchange rate liberalization. So, yeah, I just kind of glanced over this. It's full of stuff I don't really give that much energy to, but I know lots of you do. It talks about floating and a managed float and all this other stuff. So, yeah. This is on the blog, and it's the one I put 3 asterisks in front of the title because I don't want it to be at the very bottom of yeah. So just look for the article that has 3 asterisks in front of it: monetary stability and exchange rate liberalization. And I would say it's written at probably a 9th grade level of vocabulary. But so this is just a study. Now, what I do want to say is this is not the CBI. This is not the government. This is this guy who he does go on talk shows and he writes economic articles. But so in economic feasibility studies, the financial, marketing, and technical studies cannot be prepared in an investment environment unless that environment enjoys monetary stability, paving the way for stable exchange rates for local currency against foreign currencies. This allows the economic feasibility researcher, particularly the foreign investor, to calculate costs, returns, and profits over time periods within the project's lifetime. So I do understand that he's saying they need stable rates so people can do all the traditional methods of analyzing, is this something I should invest in? But with you got oil bouncing all around, you got their money rate bouncing all around. So yeah, but see, they talk about preparing economic feasibility studies with margins of errors and forecasts, and yeah, so some of you guys are just gonna eat this article up. Here again, it says liberalization of the exchange rate, right? Price stability, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Adoption of a managed float method. All right. So, like I said, it's not from the CBI. It's not even from the government, but it's still, I see this as citizen education, but clearly not all the citizens are going to read that, right? But the ones that can appreciate it, they'll probably gobble it up just like you guys. All right. This, I just wanted you to see this is the coordination framework, but it says they're apprehensive and unopened. Washington intends to impose Iraq's next prime minister separate from Iran. So either one, I was about to say either one of us, and then a song popped in my head. Anyway, that's why the people don't want to vote, because of things like this, articles like this, but they know it's the truth. If we're not the one putting the prime minister there, Iran is influencing who gets put there, right? So I don't know. And almost like, oh, here's an article. Now this picture is years old. It's a great picture, but don't think it's new. So this is just talking about Iran. So remember I said there was this thing called snapback sanctions. They are Germany and two other countries in the Eurozone. They are about to put reimposing sanctions. So there were some sanctions that were removed, and now they're just going to put them back, and their assets will be frozen again. No more pew pew deals, right? And yeah, there's some words there I'm not going to say either, but they're very special kablooies. Yeah. All right. So if you want to read that, that's there. Here they are. France, Germany, and Britain. France, Germany, and Britain. Those are the ones. Okay, so if you want to read that. So also Iraq is having, oh, that article is really long. Iraq is having water issues. So I bet you Iran is too. But Iran is very tight-lipped, and they keep their news about the bad things that are going on in their country. They don't let it out, right? So I know we can hear stuff because I hear there's some horrendous things going on, but do we believe it? But I was thinking as I was reading things today, I was like, Iran has to be having problems because they share the water. Turkey, Iraq, Iran, and then there's one more country, maybe Jordan. I'm not sure, but there's one more country. Now they have less of an issue, but Egypt, maybe it's maybe it's Egypt. So anyway, here's an article about, oh boy, look at that. I've been talking for 22 minutes. Let me hurry up. Okay. Iraqi embassy in Washington. Iraq is not affiliated with any country. So I thought this was very strange that they would come out. Basically, they're saying Iraq is sovereign. And they know they're not. But yeah, so something weird is going on there. Okay, look at this. This has to be old. But look at all that Iraqi dinar just sitting there. Because now the reason why I say this has to be an old picture is because they bundle it and they wrap it and they put it in plastic bags. So it's not, they don't, it doesn't just sit there like that unless this is once they're getting ready to destroy, maybe. Then I could see that. But that's not what they talk about here. It says Iraq is not suffering from a liquidity shortage, but rather from its misuse. Government banks are merely treasuries with no production. Now, and there's another article, unless the banking system transform from stagnant treasuries into effective institutions that channel funds towards production, the economy will remain captive to a vicious cycle of consumption and sterile financing. Massive deposits will have little impact on growth and job opportunities. So this is that guy, Obeidi. I don't have to say his name. That's how I say it. Yep. So money that is deposited for short-term accounts. So that doesn't help the economy. Because remember what the people are doing? They're depositing the money they need to make the digital payments. So say they have 3 bills and those have to be paid with electronic payment, then they're taking their physical dinars, depositing just the amount that's needed, and doing that, right? So the banks can't do anything with that, right? Yeah. So there's that article if you want to read that. Now here, this is a different person, I think. No, same guy, but look at this title. More than 85% of bank deposits in Iraq are held in government banks that are misusing them. Now, if I'm a citizen and I see that title, am I going to put my money in the bank? No. Even though he's not in the government, he doesn't work for the CBI, right? He's just an economist. But, you know, so you can read that. It's pretty, it has a lot of the same information as the other one, but you can see this is a little longer. It goes into real estate and other um, transactions that previously could be done in dinar but now have to be dollar only. All right, here's my one commercial. If you'd like to support my FX buddies when this is a live blog, the Buy Me a Coffee link will be live. Cash App is always live. And thank you. I'm getting early birthday presents and I am appreciative of those as well. So lowercase $ Tish Wash, and that also PayPal. And big or small, I appreciate it all and thank you in advance for your generosity. Okay, let's see. There's really not much more here. This was the final inclusion, financial inclusion. Remember I said there was going to be another article? This says Iraq ranked last in the Arab world in terms of financial inclusion. So that's not good. I'm sure they don't want that, right? Because all the other countries see how Bahrain, I don't know why they say it like that, but they do. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Jordan, Morocco, and Tunisia there. So there's all the countries that are above them. Yep. All right. Here's another. Oh, I put this here because I like that image. But see what I was saying? See how they bundle the money now? They don't just lay it out like that. It's bundled, and I don't know what these little stickers are, but they put those little stickers on them too. Now, look at this wording. Dangerous and does not create economic value. Expert warns against bank deposits. So none of those titles, none of those headlines are helpful, right? I'm like, dang, does he have it out for the banks or what? So, yeah. Okay. So that's why. So you don't have to read that. I just wanted that picture there. So Sadani had a phone call with Macron, as they say. And who knows what they really talked about, right? You can read that. They have some words there, but I'm sure it's not the truth. Security, stability, working together. Yeah, all that good stuff. This guy, he came out and he really dogged Iraq. This is the UN guy. He took Jenny from the UN's place and he just gave a pretty good report, maybe December. Oh, look, just. You know what? It has been 8 months, huh? Well, so now he's saying he's warning Iraq of widespread corruption and a lack of accountability. So you know what? I'm not going to say that. He says, I love Iraq. You're my dear country. But you're corrupt. And I want to see you safe and free of corruption. Yeah, so if you want to read that. And then I wanted to end on a good note. So I think we have 2 more. Oh, no. Well, we'll just go real quick because I don't want to keep you at Saturday and a holiday weekend. But here, Sadani went to his people, his tribal people, and he gave another speech. And he talked about his government is based on Iraq first. Yeah, and he listed all his accomplishments again. So if you want to read that, you can. He put it tribal. What did I say? I said his people, but I said a different word. But the tribal, his tribe, right? He talked about U.S. withdrawal. And again, there's another person warning, if we leave, it won't be good. But I guess I didn't post that. All right. So, here's someone complaining about the budget, how Sadani broke laws, violated. He did serious violations by not implementing the budget. Here's an article. Okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty positive. And the fact that it's coming from Nabil Marsumi, who is, even in Iraq, they call him the pessimistic economist. And he's saying it's good that the American companies are returning back to Iraq, specifically Chevron and one other oil company, because they left because corruption and other stuff. And he's saying, so now that they're coming back, it's because there's transparency, there's experienced workers, less corruption. So all the bad reasons that they left have been addressed, and they're coming back. So that's a really positive article. Okay, and the last one is the Kurds are expecting to get their payment tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. They're very hopeful. They'll wake up and get a text. Hey, your 6-month salary is in your account. Go get it. All right, so thank you. Yeah, pretty slow weekend, but I knew it would be. So yeah, I wanted to report. I'm hoping tomorrow they will actually send that money. So yeah, I don't think it'll be a lot of news tomorrow. But I will follow up to let you know if the Kurds get paid and anything else that'll be worth reporting. So enjoy your Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. If you didn't see the last episode, which would be 2 days ago, stay tuned, because when this one ends, a little square is going to pop up and you could click on that and it will play automatically for you. Don't forget, and thank you for the thumbs up. You can subscribe if you like. Yeah, so accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals. Pay all your bills. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until next time, which will probably be tomorrow.